up against the 8th. Yes, the 8th seed from Lunar Conference is here into the grand finals of Mozza Marauders. That is just absolutely astounding.
Astounding indeed. You know, they barely got into the playoffs, crop. Middle of the season, there were quite a few games below 500, but they turned it around, and once playoffs hit, full steam ahead, and here they are. They taking out the 1, 2, and 4 seeds on their way to this finals.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's look at the team stats overall, see how things have been stacking up. I mean, looking at these stats side by side here, something that sticks out to me is just what I imagine is going to be a play style difference. It's looking like Mozza is going to be a little bit more of that glass cannon style approach, you know, with the high goals for, but also against. Whereas it seems like Cursed is being a little bit more reserved, probably more of a midfield battle type team. But overall, I mean, my word, looking at the stats here, Cursed is looking dangerous. That's why they're the number 2.
Yeah, they've been steady all season long, really been at the top of the Solar Conference. But we move on now to the player stats, crop.
Oh
We'll
boy.
see
Oh boy.
who's on the pitch for us tonight.
This, I've been dreading this. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing that correct. It is 13, 14, and 15 being the Mozza Marauders lineup. My word, they're just trying to make my job more difficult, apparently. But looking at how we're going from the team stats to the individual, it's the exact same storyline where we have a majority of the shots coming from the Mozza Marauders side of things. It's looking like it's going to be Matrix the Bad leading that offensive press for Curse, but we'll see how things tend to go. A lot of times when you get into this high pressure situation, especially in the grand finals, things start to kind of change. Some of that pressure starts to get to them, but I don't know. We'll see how things go. And, you know, we could talk numbers all day long. We could sit here. We can say, I think this team's going to do something. This team might be doing something, but I really want to see how things play out on the field here. What are you expecting from these two teams? Because I've been out here theory crafting based on the numbers, but what are you expecting?
So we look at these stats, like you said, Cursed a lot more of a balanced attack throughout the season. Mozza Marauders, one thing I noticed definitely compared to Curse, a lot of assists. They are passing the ball like crazy. They're going for those passing plays a lot. A glass cannon offense, if you will, a G2 style offense, if you will. And we'll see how over the course of a 7-game series that works or doesn't work out for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of 7-game series, we're getting the players onto the pitch, and the countdown has begun. 5 minutes on the clock. The first game in this best of 7. We'll see how things start from the get-go, and immediately off the rip, it's a lot of offensive pressure, as we were kind of expecting coming into this from this Mozza Marauders squad, keeping the ball in that blue half, finally able to break free, and it is going to be 15 down to 13, not able to completely convert there. Good stop, but keeping that pressure yet again, kind of what we were expecting coming into this.
Yeah, this Mozza Marauder squad, they like to play fast, they like to use their mechanics and really push that offensive press all game long. It might take some getting used to for Curse to handle it, as right now, as you said, it's been a lot of the Marauders in the blue half. Curse is trying to find their footing on the other side. Matrix now clearing out to the middle of the field. Helix is there, trying to get the redirect, can't, but it goes right to Drips. Centered it downfield, trying to meet 15 in the air, cannot, and back to the blue side once again. We go, crop, a familiar sight so far in this game.
Yeah, first minute has been a lot the way of Mozza Marauder with the offensive pressure and the real estate on the field, but nothing dangerous as of yet. This has been a big midfield battle, and this is kind of what I was expecting, especially from the Curse side. They're not allowing anything too terribly dangerous. Some of these are starting to get towards mid, but they're being cut out pretty quick, sent to the side here, or completely cleaned out of the zone. And here's 14 with a mechanical opportunity by themselves, gets past all three, but not able to be a shooting opportunity. A little bit of an awkward bounce, and second man too far forward, can't take advantage, and we go the opposite direction finally in the orange half, but I mean, what, for 2 seconds perhaps?
Yeah, it was not a very long stay. As soon as they got even a little bit of possession, the orange squad was all over it, and we find ourselves back in the blue hive. They're just chipping away at that backboard. A unfortunate miss from the orange squad, but oh, that's a shot on that 15 going crossbar down right away to start us off. And that is how you open up the finals, with an absolutely unsavable shot.
Oh, top bins from 15 there. Beautiful placement, and the pressure was there. And there was actually a really good opportunity for Curse to come through and have a clean transition out the other direction, but Helix, a little bit too far forward, streaking back, was actually able to get a clear back into the zone for Mozza Marauders. Unfortunate touch, but hey, you're gonna take that one if you're a Mozza Marauders and ITA fan. And Helix gonna try and send this into the zone, start to make Mozza sweat a little bit, and this is how things are gonna start. Drips, opportunity clean off the backboard, and it's gonna continue, but back into the corner here, so nobody's gonna have a clean look down the middle of the frame, and 14 just sends one out, but it's not really to anyone, so it's a bit of dump and chase for Mozza to try and get another one on the board, and an opportunity coming through. Is it gonna convert? No, nobody touches, and Drips finally taking over and sending it out of the box.
And misses all over there in the blue box, and Curse lucky maybe to get out of that without being scored on. And they had a bit of a transition there, but Krava did not amount to much, and back in the blue half we go yet again. Now this is going to be in the midfield, a race to the ball. 15's going to win that 50, won't be able to get another. The other way we go, once again, now some opportunity here for Curse. Drips with the shot, 14 is going to get saved. 13 trying to be Helix to the ball, cannot, off the backboard now. But not really sustained offense just yet. We'll see what Drips does here in the corner. Trying to get a pass out into the mid, Crop, nothing yet. We're under 2 minutes left in this game. It's been mostly Marauders, almost another goal. Matrix has to make a crazy save to keep it a 1-goal game. Curse, they gotta find some more sustained offense if they want to get themselves a goal here. 15,
oh my,
next, almost gets the double. 14's there for the shot, cannot, and very close to another goal. We remain 1-0 here.
Yeah, so far I'm really liking how Mozza Marauders going for this approach. They're just sending one, trying to have them show off the mechanics, and then let the second and third man just play a little bit more passive to make sure they're not being that full glass cannon offense. And here's another good opportunity going the other way, just outside the box. Could have been a free look at the net, but wasn't able to convert, and it's going to be 15 all by themselves, but have good contact on the ball, sending it down the other way. And again, it's just getting down into this corner. It's finally cleared out into the orange half. Let's see if Helix can actually do something. This is where you want to see Curse start to make something of this press. And oh no, my, the blue trail and everything, but 15 coming through saying, I will take that all day long. Is currently 2 on 5. 2 goals in the 5 shots, doing absolute numbers, and gets another one on the board. 40 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and Drips just a little bit too far pressed forward there. I get it, under a minute, you need a goal. The offense hasn't quite been there, but that is going to make this game hard to come back in as the Marauders get some insurance on the board. With under 30 seconds to go, they are very much in control of this game. 15 trying to get it past Drips, 13 going for the demo, but just a second too late. Crop, we're counting down here. Curse, they got to get a goal right now if they want to get back into this game. They're down to their last couple of offensive possessions, and it just floats around in the midfield. That's high off the backboard. We got to get something right now.
And the demo.
That's a demo in the back line, just off the crossbar. And Mozza Marauders will come out of game 1 with a dominant performance.
Yeah, absolutely well done, well played from Mozza Marauders. Curse did what they needed to at the end there, but I mean, once you're stringing together 8 shots comparatively to the 3, I mean, that's what we were thinking coming into this. It's just going to be an offensive powerhouse coming from Mozza Marauders, and they proved it right there.
Yeah, and you know, I've played this Mozza Marauder squads quite a few times over the course of the season in scrims and in games. Their playstyle, it definitely takes some getting used to. That speed, the mechanics they bring at you, they're coming at you full force. So going forward in game 2, I would love to see how this Curse squad adapts to it and is able to counter it going forward, because again, you know, they were at the top of the Solar Conference all season long. I don't think they're gonna I don't think they're gonna give us the same showing in game number 2, Crop.
No, absolutely not. And a lot of times coming out into game 1, it really is that feeler game, and each team tends to play their style of gameplay. So this time around, the play style is definitely better from the Mozza Marauders side of things, but that's why you play the best of 7. You get to see those mid-series adaptations. You can see how you adjust to your opponents. But honestly, Mozza Marauders, the way that they were rotating was absolutely beautiful. I mean, they always had somebody ready on the ball. I only saw one double commit in the defensive zone, but outside of that, it was just clean play across the board. Nothing really got to change there. Curse has to come through and have the adaptation in order
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
facilitate.
Yeah, and we got game number 2 kicking off here, crowd. Players are joining in. Countdown is about to go live. Mozza Marauders looking to continue the offensive press they had in game 1. Curse, they're going to be looking to answer and disrupt that beautiful Marauders rotation you were talking about. And we are live here in game number 2, counting down. 14 over to 13 to start things off. That would have been a disastrous start for Curse, but they get out of it. 14's there, that won't be denied this time. And 10 seconds in, Mozza Marauders picking up right where they left off.
Yeah, Matrix just a little bit too close to that play, not playing that back post rotation, so they got a little bit jumpy there, and it was just a clean opportunity again. Mozza Marauders able to come through and just pick the pocket and get the first one on the board. It's that just shattering offense. It just gets so much pressure, and it causes the team to go through and do exactly what that was, where they were trying to get too aggressive with their rotations and weren't able to get around the ball here. And another opportunity, but barely sent to the side. This is going to be one you just got to get past that last man, but 15 shuts it down at the point of contact there, not allowing anything to come through. And opportunity, here it is, another one, 14 to 15. Oh, it hurts me to say, but there you go, up by 2 yet again. This time around, it's not the final minute, it's within the first minute.
Yeah, and nobody on the backboard there. It was a clean pass from 14. Had all the space. All 15 has to do is beat the defender there, and that they do. And like you just said, it took us the entire game to get 2 goals in game number 1 very quickly here in game number 2. And we have yet to see any real offense from Curse here in this game. They're trying to make something happen there, but Drips just gets shut down right away. And transitioning back into the blue half once again. 13's there trying to get up to the center, but no orange players there. Drips passes it upfield, but no teammates are there for it. 15 over to Helix now. Helix into the corner. Matrix is there. Could this be the opportunity Curse is looking for?
Oh,
13, just barely getting past Drips. And Drips with an acrobatic save, to say the least, keeps their team in the game. Still 2-0.
Wow, and here it is yet again. The offensive press and the rotations, especially on this blue half of the field for Mozza Marauders, are just so clean right now. And finally, we've seen a couple opportunities. Curse has been able to break out. There was a momentary 2v1. Weren't able to take complete advantage of that, but here's going to be an opportunity for Drips to try and change up the game plan here. Gets a touch, gets past one, but can't get past the second. I would have liked to see him go down and try and get that boost steal in the corner, but it is going to end up being one for Helix regardless. My word, where did this even come from?
It came from a beautiful pass from Matrix, and Curse, welcome to the finals, getting their first goal of the series, getting themselves right back in this game. They definitely needed that. And now 3 minutes in, Curse finally getting the monkey off their back, getting that first goal. Maybe they can relax a little bit, but the Marauders, they're not trying to see any of it. They are once again back in this blue corner. We've spent a lot of time in this series so far. 15 with a huge dunk just off the post. That was so close to being in the net, but it's an open net. Helix just has to dribble it in. Helix will, the strength of that Ford F-150, putting it in. And Crop, we have ourselves a tied game here in game number 2.
Yeah, you're talking about the G2 offense. I feel like I've seen that exact play before, going up against Moist, the team bump, and just walking it in the other way, tying us back up just about at the halfway point in this game. That's not the way you want to see it, but that's nothing that you didn't get outplayed. You just got a little bit too aggressive with your transition there, and it led to a goal again, so nothing you got to worry about just quite yet. But, I mean, this is the shootout that we were kind of expecting, and going back and forth here. 14 trying to put a tester on up to the backboard. Helix reads it wonderfully and is going to try and keep this out into the side here. It's going to be a miss, so 14 trying to streak through and create that pressure back down into the corner. And 14 going for the late low 50 is able to win it, and it's going to be all 3 blue players momentarily in this corner. Should give the opportunity to push forward, but the whiff opens up a bit of space. The demo is going to close it back up immediately, so this pressure is going to continue to mount. And let's see if, there it is, finally Curse is able to get a big clear the other way and maybe convert on that. My word.
Well, that was a close play. 14 making a crazy save. We've seen a bunch of those already this series. This game remains high, but that's off the backboard. No one's there. 13 just can't put it on target, but 15 can. And 3-2 to the Marauders. Off the backboard, Helix just couldn't get there. And sometimes the best pass is a missed shot, and 15 going to capitalize. Mozza Marauders, after 2 goals, letting Curse back into this game. They definitely wanted to see that one go down. Oh, off kickoff, hold up, Crop.
Oh.
Once again, we're tied just like that. Helix off the kickoff. Talk about a shootout. We got one.
Oh, the delayed kickoff. 14 actually won the race to the kickoff there, and that's actually something you tend to see at this level, where you go for the quick kickoff, you get to the ball so much faster than the opponent that they end up getting that delayed 50 just kind of by accident, and that time it came to fruition beautifully, and it's looking like Kirst is starting to put the pressure the other way, and oh my, everyone and their mother is jumping for this ball. Nobody gets contact, a bump,
Ooh.
a double commit, it's so messy, Drips putting one through. My word, what a mess on the goal line here, and somehow this one goes cleanly through Matrix. The bump, 13 and 14 saying hello to each other and streaking one through, up by 1, 90 seconds remaining. Not how I was expecting this game to be. 1 minute expired in.
No, not at all. And that was a lot of chaos on the goal line. Kurt's definitely happy for it, though, as they were able to be the beneficiaries of that. You know, I talked about how will Kurt's adapt to this Mozza Marauders offense. It's definitely hard when you first come at it, but they seem to be adapting just fine, and they look like they're slowly but surely starting to take over in this game number 2. Up 1 with a minute left, Crop. They just got to play some defense. Another goal wouldn't hurt, but we're counting down. This could be dangerous, though. 14's there off the side, and that's a favorable bounce for Cursed. They keep the lead going. Mozza Marauders now looking a little dry on the offense. This is a shot, but it's not very dangerous. Cursed.
Oh, the pitch.
Oh! I was just gonna say Cursed with the clear, but it comes right back. And the own goal, Helix can't stop the momentum.
No.
I think that was gonna go in anyways, but still, that's gotta feel bad. And now we are tied up once again. We keep going here in this game number 2. One more goal could be all it takes to win this one, Crop.
Absolutely, the final 30 seconds are upon us, but the press has begun yet again. Good transition to the side there. I'm liking that Cursed is looking for their teammates, not just sending that dump and chase strategy, but Mozza Marauders yet again, beautiful rotations at that midfield line, not allowing anything to go cleanly. Finally, a big clear going down the other way, and it is going to be 14 trying to collect in this back corner. Final 10 seconds, it's a one-on-one. 14 should have the chip over, but Drips recognizing where that's trying to go, and an opportunity doesn't stop here. 15 couldn't get around it. Good is going to go to the side in 1 second. This is 0 second time. Does that streak through off the backboard opportunity? On 0. 13 scores it. Gets another one on the board for the Mozza Marauders.
Oh, and that is an absolute backbreaker for Cursed. They had the lead with 40 seconds left, trying to go for the 0 second goal, keeping it up, and instead it backfires. And what an ending to that game number 2. Mozza Marauders, they got to be feeling on top of the world after that one.
I mean, they stole that game. They absolutely stole that game. But my word, Cursed, Helix especially, 730. They were doing everything, but again, the big numbers coming through in the shot department from the Mozza Marauders, as we would expect, but it's looking like Cursed is starting to download and understand more and more where that offensive press is coming from and how you go from that conversion from defense to offense. They're finding each other in those transition plays, but it's not all there. I mean, the kickoff especially department has been going in the way of Cursed every single time, it feels like.
Yeah, 100%. And I mean, we look at the Mozza Marauders, a lot of passing, 5 goals, 5 assists. That is their game plan, and they're putting it in play to perfection right now. We talked about, you know, in the pregame, that's what they do. They have the one big up they have on Cursed is those passing plays. You look at 4 goals for Cursed, only 2 assists, and they were outshot by a considerable margin in that game number 2. You want to get that offensive pressure up, you got to get more shots on the net. Cursed will definitely be looking to do that moving forward here in game number 3. But will they be able to regain the mental after a pretty devastating loss in game number 2? We'll see, Crop.
At 0 seconds nonetheless. I mean, that is not a game that you can say, oh, they were just better or all of these things happened. They were up.
Yep.
They had the advantage after coming back. They had everything that they needed in the department of getting everything in their favor, but just weren't able to get that last conversion. And this is a bit awkward. 14's not able to get there, and streaking back. Finally able to get a save there. It's going to be sent to the side. Drips is going to try and get the continue for the cursed roster here up off the backboard. Nobody's going to be there for this read. Finally, Helix is up to it, but only can get a 15 to that back corner. And here it is. This is where things start to get tested for the Mozza Marauders. Can they get a good, clean transition out? They are able to. Going for the bump play, the demo.
Ooh.
15, you don't even need the demo. Just get them to jump off the goal line in 15. I mean, they are the goal scorer for this Mozza Marauders squad, and that bump right on the goal line is gonna pay dividends.
Yeah, that's a huge bump, and 15 still had to get a clean 50 on that ball to make sure it went into the net, and that they did. 1-0 here to start game number 3, and Crop, you know, that overtime goal, it's kind of been reminding me of something. I don't know if you remember the rival finals last year, Wilder, with like 0 seconds remaining to send the game to OT, and that team ended up smoking the finals with a 4-0 sweep. We'll see if Curse is able to regain, but it's giving me very similar vibes, and if Mozza Marauders take that momentum, it could be a quick finals, and right now they're operating on all cylinders. 13 taking the pass from 15. It's 2-0 here.
But this is exactly what we saw last game. Within the first minute, roughly, it was Mozza Marauders coming out getting the 2-0, and then there was the quick pushback from Cursed to try and close that up. So we'll see if that happens yet again, or if Mozza can start to run away with it. You would like to see, if you're a Mozza fan, that this is going to continue to go their way, get some more points on the board, and I mean, realistically, the momentum is all in their favor. Like you were saying, that 0-second goal, I mean, that's not just a goal for the sake of having a goal. That is an absolute gut punch. So it's a little bit of momentum going into the next game on top of that goal in and of itself. So we'll see if Curse has the mental fortitude to come back and get the regain. And 15 isn't having any of the mind games, just going for pure mechanics. Trying to go right down the middle, wasn't able to do so. 13 keeping that pressure down to 14, but it is going to be Matrix not getting a hold of that one, so it's going to continue to be a Mozza opportunity. Drips sending it down into the corner, and 14 coming through. I mean, this is just pressure yet again. I mean, this is textbook definition offensive press, not even letting the ball get cleanly to that midfield line. The little doink up high. 14's going to win that race, trying to go under. Wasn't able to do so. Good recognition where that shot was coming from, and see if they can finally get Cursed out of the box. Finally able to do so, but don't have any meaningful forward. 14 to send it out, and here we go yet again. About the midway point, Mozza's had a ton of offensive press.
Yeah, and right now, the shot's 5-2. That's not a big difference, but the time of possession in each other's half, that is a huge difference so far in this game. It feels like we've been seeing the orange half for maybe a couple seconds at a time at most. We'll see how long this trip lasts. Matrix getting the bounce, but can't get it past all the defenders. 14, though, can't make the touch in the box. Drips is going to take advantage. We saw this last game, as you pointed out, Crop. Now only a 1-goal game, plenty of time remaining. Cursed, not breaking yet. We'll see if they can bring this one back and get themselves back into the series here in game number 3.
Oh, and the kickoff game especially, I mean, it resets the entire game, and it also looks like it's been going in Curse's favor every single time, and this time around, yet again, have a clean opportunity off at 13, waiting patiently there on the goal line. 14's going to win that outright, and Helix to send it down to Matrix, who's going to try and get out of the zone, but it's looking like 15's going to get the better read, and then some. Woo! My word, 15 says, I will take that all day long, recognizing where Matrix is trying to go. Bit better mechanics and the placement, the speed, the everything there. Well executed for Mozza Marauders to be up with insurance yet again, T-San.
Yeah, and one thing I've really noticed is speed in the air so far over these last couple of games. It just seems to me like the Mozza Marauders are winning every ball that's a race in the air. They're winning it, and right there on that goal, just once again, the speed in the air and then the accuracy on those touches, the mechanics the Marauders are bringing out right now are just on an absolute another level. And Curse, they're having a hard time dealing with it, but that backboard defense is looking a little bit suspect. Drips once again taking advantage of a misread by the defense. Don't count him out just yet, as I might have been. It's a 1-goal game with a minute and a half, Crop.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you saw, there was a double commit as well, so that opened up all of the pressure there to allow Drips to come in. I mean, that touch was so clean just because there was that double commit from Mozza Marauders. So those small opportunities, those small misplays lead to a lot of chances for the other team to come through. And here's another chance. It's going to be cleanly won out the other way, and it's going to be a clean shot on it. It's going to tie us up again. Oh my, we've been counting them out every single time, but they refuse to relent. Cursed getting one back yet again.
Yeah, I mean, look, that Cursed mental has got to be so strong, because think about how easy it could be just to fold after going down 2-0 on a 0-second goal in the finals. Be able to come back once again. You're down 3-1 in this game. You tie it up. And we talked about that glass cannon offense from the Marauders kind of hurting them there. They had all their players too far forward. But the offense, it's coming back once again. 14 trying to get it down to a teammate. Cannot. Under 40 seconds to go now, Crop. Curse just trying to weather the storm of this offensive attack, transition it into offense. We'll see what they can do. Helix gets it up to a teammate. Matrix trying to get there. Gets one touch. Can they get a second? No, it'll go off the backboard. Drips now taking a shot up on the goal line. And Drips gonna take advantage. That's a hat trick here in game number 3 for Drips. And what a huge bump by Matrix. It's 4-3 to Cursed.
Wow, beautiful recognition that you just got to get rid of that player on the goal line there. Up by 1 yet again in the final 30 seconds. This is so reminiscent of the last game. But let's see if this time around Cursed can finish and close out this game. 13 is going to try and get this press going. It's going to be down to Drips, who's going to cleanly win it in the corner. But 15 comes through and steals it. Getting down to the midfield line, gets a demo as well. Going to open up so much space, and the boost advantage is going to be going more and more in Mozza's favor, but Helix isn't having any of it. Sent the entire length of the field, and it's going to be down on 0, and there it is. Cursed, not over with this series whatsoever.
No, they are not, and that is just a huge game. You cannot overstate it enough of what they had to, how they ended the last one. Just be able to come back and do what they did in this game. You know, I mentioned Crop. They needed to get their shots up if they wanted to get that offensive going. 9 shots to Mozza Marauders, 9 shots in this game number 3. That is a big win for them. And if it's a sign of more things to come, we could see Curse tie the series up right away.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just what I was going to point out as well. It felt yet again like Mozza had all of the offensive press, but the shot line is really what's going to be most important here, because it has been so heavily in favor of Mozza Marauders this time around, tying things back up. And you can see how much different that makes the game feel in total. And what a regain. I mean, we cannot say that enough. Coming from a 0-second goal loss to winning the next game, that is just massive.
Yeah, and we'll see how that affects Mozza now.
Yeah.
You talk about it, how it may affect Curse Mental from the previous game. You're coming off that huge win, and then you let a 3-1 lead go in game number 3 to let this team get back into the series. Because you talk about if you win that 3-0 game, and I've accidentally joined the wrong team there, Crop.
Oh no.
Almost messing up the game there. But we talk about letting that 3-1 lead go. If you get the 3-0 lead in the series, it's pretty much it. It's wraps. We'll see if they can regain themselves now in game number 4.
Yeah, and this is where things start to get a little bit interesting. When you get into these high-pressure situations, these high-pressure games, more often than not, when you start to think, hey, I might win this, there's that additional piece of nerves that start to come through. It's not just, hey, we're playing this game, there's already the nerves, you're on stream, you're here to win a championship. But then you start to get up in those games and you go, oh, we might actually win this one. And sometimes you can start to chase it a little bit too much, and that might be what Mozza ended up doing in that last game, but it was indeed close, so nothing you got to worry about too much just quite yet. And it is going to be the pressure starting yet again, but can they continue to convert on these opportunities. If you're cursed, you have to start to recognize what you have to do differently, and so far it seems like they're doing so. Nothing dangerous. The ball's been cleared out into the corner very well every time. Here it is yet again. Matrix getting it out to the side, and T-San, I feel like it's been a full minute yet again of Mozza in the offensive zone.
Yeah, it feels like we haven't seen the orange side of the field yet. I mean, there it was for a brief second. Drips now getting what could be some sustained pressure going. It's off the ceiling. Matrix is there, but just can't quite read it. Those bounces off the ceiling, always very hard to read, but thought that was going to be an outplay from Drips, and there it is from Helix. That's off the backboard. Could be dangerous. 13 doesn't get the touch. 15's just able to get there and clears it out to the other side. And 14 with the shot. Matrix has to make a crazy save. And I believe this is the longest we've gone without a goal in the series so far.
Yep.
A minute and a half scoreless here in game number 4. Both teams playing it very evenly. They don't want to be the ones to give up the first goal in this ever so important game number 4.
Yeah, I mean, this is tying the series back up or getting to match point, and so this is something that's big in both perspectives of these teams. So playing a little bit more passive, not really sending as many clear opportunities down, and this is going to be interesting because Drips is just going to take advantage of the missed touch at the midfield line.
Drips has been all over this series.
Wow.
In the right place at the right time. Making a very strong case for finals MVP if Curse are able to pull this off. It's been a lot of Drip scoring. Marauders, they're going to have to shut them down one way or another. Because, again, it's been a Drip show all series long for Curse.
Yeah, absolutely looking solid. And as is 15, however, they've been kind of going back and forth here as opportunities coming through, and it's going to be again down to Mozza Marauders, but Helix there to clear it out of the zone, and it seems like Curse is just playing that really far back third man rotation, just starting a net and going the rotations from there rather than trying to get that midfield pressure going. And it looks like it's going to be end up the better play as of now, but you know, I can't really see that passive play working too much if this team starts to recognize. And realistically, if you're Mozza, go for some demos, open up that line there, that'll give you some opportunities. But my word, Matrix had one there. Drips is finally going to come streaking through. 15 clean win off the top ropes, and good recognition where that ball is going to go, slowing it down, see if they can get 2 to bite. It's going to be 2 in the corner, but a big 50 there from Matrix is going to slow down that press that could have come.
Oh, and this is a shot, but Drip's going to be there for the easy save. Has to make another one. 14 was all over that. And again, the offensive pressure, once the Marauders get going, it just seems like they don't know how to stop. But Curse has been better and better at dealing with it. And that defense, which maybe, you know, was a little suspect to the speed and the mechanics of the Marauders in the first couple of games, has been rock solid when they need it to be. Bend not break. Matrix almost getting the shot there, but just can't quite make contact. Matrix once again going for the redirect here, but 15 was ready for it. That's a big flick into the midfield. Helix all over it that time. And now we're seeing some sustained pressure from Curse. The rotations have been really solid. They still have a 1-goal lead here. Under a minute to go, Crop. Will they be able to hold out and tie this series? Some whiffs in the air. Drips off the backboard. Helix is there, but can't quite get it on target. That was a huge scoring opportunity. Will Curse regret not getting that in? We remain to see. 30 seconds left now. Back in the blue corner. 13 trying to make it happen. Oh, that was almost a huge dunk. But Curse can breathe for a little bit because it's back in the orange side of the field.
Yeah, and you know, this is starting to play a little bit into that old adage of offense win you games, but championships are won by defense. And so, you know, it's starting to go more and more in favor of Curse, who's just playing that lockdown third man defense, not allowing anything to go by for free. Opportunity here in the final few seconds. Helix is just going to take the ball, go for the time waste strats, not allow it to go anywhere even remotely close to the blue half. And there it is, Curse tying us back up. 2 games initially for Mozza, and then 2 games going the way of Curse. My word, ladies and gentlemen, we have a series in front of us.
A series we have indeed, and not a very high scoring game there like we've been accustomed to Curse winning a 1-0 slugfest in game number 4 to tie up this series. Crop, we could be going the distance in our first best of 7 of the night. But like I was saying earlier, this series, Drips has had their name all over it. Scoring goal after goal. Mozza's gonna have to slow them down one way or another, or it could get ugly for them.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out real quick is Cursed finally had more shots than Mozza Marauders. It's 5-4. So it really is looking like Cursed is starting to play more and more into their own hand, going for that defensive stand rather than allowing Mozza Marauders just to come through and play that sheer offense like they were earlier. And it's looking like we're going to get a sub as well. 47 Lamau coming through. So it'll break up the 13, 14, 15 crew a little bit, but we'll see if 47 Lamau can be the super sub. We've seen this a few times now in some of these grand finals where the adjustments being made can be the right play. Maybe it's a bit of stream nerves, maybe it's championship nerves, but sometimes all you need is that little bit of fresh blood.
Yeah, and look, if there ever was a super sub, it's 47. This guy's got the speed, he's got the mechanics, and we'll see what they can bring to the game. Kickoff is live, and a familiar sight. We start off on the blue half of the field, Crop.
Oh, that's crazy. Who would have possibly guessed that Mozza's starting off with the pressure and 47 coming through, trying to be that super sub indeed, but here it is, a double commit in the corner and 15 streaking through as third man. So again, going for that glass cannon approach, and we'll see if it comes back to bite him, because it's a lot of pressure on this ball, but a lot of resources are being used as well. So it is going to be 15 having to stretch for this one. Drips has a clean look at the ball, has to go for the high 50, and it's going to be back down in this corner. 13 fully boosted up, gets up over 1, but can they continue this press down? Of course, third man is there, down to Matrix for the redirect. No, not able to get the whole way around it. And this is starting to look more and more in favor of Curse as this goes down, but 15 isn't having any of it. The mechanics are starting to show.
Yeah, 15 going for what would have been a pretty crazy double, excuse me. Nothing comes out of it yet. 47 now, trying to keep that offense in the blue half, but it'll bounce out. Some big plays coming out from both teams. Maybe a little bit of boomer ball coming out. Helix, what a crazy turn of events that was. I'm not even sure what happened, but it results in a goal for a Curse. The read off the flip, the little tap into 13. I'm not sure how that goes in, Crop, but I'm sure Helix is gonna be happy. That's 1-0 Curse. And they're continuing to turn the series on its head.
It's a good thing I'm not in the field, because I would have just been spamming calculated on that one if you get that one in. I mean, it's a fortunate bounce, but again, it's a lot of those opportunities. Luck is on their side because they are facilitating. They're getting the ball down cleanly, and the defense is starting to waver a little bit more for the Mozza Marauders, and that's leading to a lot of these chances. They might come out as flukes, but it's not going to be a fluke when Drips is on the ball. Of course it's going to be Drips getting one and then some. It's going to be 2-0 coming out for Curse so far, starting off strong.
Yeah, and Aphis just barely misses that touch. Helix gonna get that assist for Drips, as you said. Who else would it be? 2-0 now for Cursed. Their biggest lead of the series so far. Although Mozza trying to stop that, but it goes off the crossbar in the post. It's a favorable bounce, and we go right back into the orange half. Drips waiting for the touch from 13 here, but that's a well-played ball from 13. Gets it to 47, who's going to get a good challenge on Helix. 15 couldn't quite get the touch there. Back in the orange half we go. Bounce off the ceiling. A lot of crazy plays are going on here. It's a little tough for either team to read it. That was a huge bump. What a read, and 15 gonna be saying thanks to their teammate. What a read from 13 to be able to get Helix out of the way. That is a huge goal to get yourself back into this game.
And that's exactly what I was saying coming into this in that last game as well. You got to get the physicality if you're Mozza Marauders. You have to get that third man who's been sitting so very deep. Get them off the goal line. Allow for those opportunities to start to string through. That time around, we're able to do so. Second and third man were there, but you don't got to worry about them if they don't have a car. You know, you just got to take them off the field. We're able to do so. but it is going to be Curse trying to continue this press here. It's going to be 47 losing over to Helix, who streaked through and is going to open up the space because the demo attempt, even the threat of the bump, got 13 and 15 to jump. They weren't able to recover in time. 47 still rotating out, and it's just going to be another beautifully done conversion as a team play from Cursed.
Yeah, and 3-1 now in this game. Curse looking to take a 3-2 lead in the series after being down 2-0. All three of the Curse players are just operating on all cylinders. Matrix trying to make it a fourth goal. Just quite can't, but the offense continues. Helix now over to Matrix. Doesn't need him. Helix will do it all by themselves. 4-1 in favor of Curse. This series has completely turned around.
Curse is just playing the more well-rounded team game. They're calling each other in. They're going for the fakes. They're going for the bumps. And honestly, I think the moment Curse started to recognize you have to shut down 15, that's where things have started to change. And as I'm saying it, of course, who is going to score other than 15?
That is a caster curse if I've ever seen one, Crop. But hey,
Yeah.
I'm sure the Marauders won't be too mad at you. They needed that one if they want to get back in this game. 2 minutes to go. That is a lot of time to score 2 goals. We'll see if they can continue to get themselves back into it. 47 trying to get the goal there. Just quite can't. 13 with a huge pinch puts it into the middle field. Matrix all over it though. Trying to keep the offense going for Cursed. Drips is there, just going to put it into the corner. You know, corner's probably going to be Curse's best friend. That wastes a lot of time. It's hard to score from there. We'll see what comes here, though. 13 gets a big first touch off the backboard. No reads from anyone, though, and it goes out the other way. That was a huge opportunity for the Marauders to get themselves back in this one, Crop, but they still remain down 2 goals as time continues to wind down, closer and closer to losing the lead in this series.
Yeah, and there was a bit of a rushed opportunity there as well. You can see 15 went for the pre-jump rather than letting the ball kind of settle. I don't know if it's the nerves or if they're just starting to really chase this, but within that minute, you got plenty of time, so just you have to calm those nerves and say, all right, let's actually get a set play going rather than just sending it all in. And there was one almost coming to, but not able to do so because Curse defense is starting and continuing to level up every single game in this series. They're just starting to look more and more strong in the defense. Let me finish a thought, please. Game, let me finish a thought every single time. I'm just caster cursing, and who else? Mozza Marauders to put one in, and I like how 15 was just on the goal line, just saying, all right, I'll let that one through. The stats can go towards my teammate.
And now with 30 seconds, that's still plenty of time. We'll see what happens. 13 to 47. They don't need 30 seconds. They needed about 7. What a passing play from the Marauders, and what a shot from 47. We're tied here in game number 5.
Oh my, 47, the super sub tying us back up with 26 remaining. I mean, this is anyone's ball game. It was looking like Cursed was gonna start to run away with it, and Helix going for the flashy mechanics, gets it down. Matrix is having none of it. The passing play, this is beautifully executed. Helix rushing to the ceiling, popping it down. 13 not recognizing. They've got to be closer to the net, rushing ever so slightly off the goal line, and clean opportunity going the way of Cursed, and up by 1 yet again. It is going to be down to 47, who goes to the sky. Mozza's been doing wonders in the air here. Drip shuts it down. 15 loses a big 50. So it is going to be 13 with an awkward touch. A lot of time's going to be wasted here. Not a lot of forward momentum on that ball. 47 sends a tester down the other way, and Helix actually goes to the sky with this. Nobody's able to get contact. It's going to be on the air. Do we see another 0-second? No, Curse says not twice in one day. Able to stop that press, and my word, where did this Cursed come from?
Oh man, I don't know, Crop, but the Marauders starting to reel a little bit now in this series. How many times did we count Cursed out early in the series? 13, 14, 15 times? It doesn't matter, because they now have a 3-2 lead in this series, and they are on championship point.
Yeah, absolutely massive for Curse there. And like I was saying, it's that defense wins you championships. And so far, Curse has been doing absolutely wonderful in that gold line. Second and third man are always there. But, you know, if you put it all together as Mozza Marauders have been able to do so, and they're able to get those shots on, you have the opportunities to at least keep the games close. So you can kind of hang your hat on that. But I think we're seeing 14 immediately come back in.
Yeah,
It's an interesting play there.
it's just a quick breather on the bench. 14, hopefully going to be the clutch factor the Marauders need now after subbing for a game. And they're going to need a lot of clutch factors. Down 1 in the series now. We head to Neo Tokyo Crop. Game 6, championship point for Cursed. They were down 2-0 in this series. Can they bring out a sweep in the other direction to take it? We're counting down game number 6. Here we go.
What in the world? I mean, what do you even call that? A 2-game loss and then the sweep? It's not a spaceman sweep because that's 1 and then back. It's not a reverse sweep. What are we even looking at here? We'll call it a curse sweep because if they can make this happen, this is absolutely massive. Coming through and getting that sweep out, and we're going to see if 14 can come through and make those adjustments that 47 wasn't able to do so far. Yet again, a familiar scene that we've been seeing at the start of every single game, but do we see it pay dividends again? Yes, indeed. And who else other than 15, the goal scoring machine for Mozza Marauders, actually got a tactical backflip there and gets it up over Drips.
Yeah, and look, that was just a tough read high off the backboard. When you don't have someone up there, it's a really tough read to make off the ground. Matrix just wasn't able to get there. 15 gonna take advantage of the open net. Almost gets another goal, and 13 will be there for the cleanup crew. Sacrifices the car for it. And yeah, that's just a tough play all around for the defense. Cursed. Very reminiscent of the first couple games in this series. Down 2 early here in game number 6.
Yeah, Drips was on the backboard. They were in the right spot, but instead of front flipping to get the ball out into the corner, they ended up back flipping somehow. So a bit of mechanical issues there from Drips led to a clean win there, but it's looking like it's gonna immediately go the other. Oh my, how did that not bounce in? Psionics, please. What are these posts? But that time around, it isn't going to be Drips getting another one on the board. It's going to be a rush touch here, so we'll see if 13 can get the pressure down. Drips getting back to it, so they have an opportunity to send it down into the Mozza half. Not able to do so cleanly, so it is going to be 14. Big win. Do they go for the fake or the double? Woo! 14 just absolutely nails this.
Oh, takes it right off the hood of Felix, who put it on a tee for 14. 14's gonna say thank you very much. I'll take this across the field. Bang it back of the net. Talk about a statement goal. 14 does not need to be on the bench at all. 3-0 now here in game number 6. Mozza Marauders just wanted to make the series a little bit spicy. Wow, what a start to the game we're seeing here.
Yeah, wow, indeed. And that's the one where you got to make sure you got your clipping software ready to rock and roll, because that was picture perfect. And up by 3, got the insurance and then some. So we'll see if they can keep this press going, see if 14's going to end up being the differentiator. And, you know, I'm saying that, but 47 didn't play bad. They were just down by 1, so it's not like I thought that they weren't playing up to snuff. But so far, this change up yet again. And again, it could be that it's Cursed on series point. They could start to be like, okay, we might actually win this. They are no longer fighting from behind. They're fighting from ahead. So it could change the entire mentality of how this is going to be going. And so far, it's looking like Mozza Marauders is taking advantage of that and trying to work their way into game 7, T-Sam.
Yeah, and you talk about, you know, maybe the nerves getting to them a little bit here because they're on the championship point. Seeing a couple of uncharacteristic flips and some poor touches coming out of Curse. They're going to have to clean that up if they want to get back in this game. But we're nearing halftime, and game 6 has been all Italian so far. Still 3-0. Once again, finding ourselves in the blue half. 13's going to be all over that. Tries to get the second touch, but can't. Matrix trying to clear it out. 15's there in the air, trying to get the second touch. 13 going for a demo. Can't make contact. That's a shot on that. Felix has to get the save and does. Helix has some space to work with, but can't get it off the ground, so it's going to be an easy challenge for the Marauders. 13 now, put it into the air. That's off target, but all this offensive pressure crop, it is wasting time, because as time counts down, that is less and less opportunities Curse will have to get back into this one, and they need as many opportunities as they can get.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Mozza Marauders, you have to play that time waste strat, have your third man be a little bit deeper. Just think of this as overtime, because you cannot allow one to go in, because that starts to shift this entire momentum of the team that is currently winning. And speaking of which, this, I just can't speak without caster cursing something. I mean, it's just in the name.
It's been bad for you this year. It's been bad.
Yeah, but, you know, it's one back for Cursed. That's why they call it a caster curse, because Cursed is going to make it happen here yet again. And my word, this kickoff has been going in the favor of Drips, especially with 14 this time around. The better read up to the backboard. Helix is able to clear it to the side here. Is trying to get 15 to bite. Is going to play nice and patient here at the midfield line, but that's going to be a bump on 14 as well. So the offense isn't going to come through as quickly as you would like for Mozza. Finally able to win the ball cleanly, and 13's up for this, and third man is actually going to commit for this. So Mozza still playing really aggressively in the offensive half. They just got to go for the time waste, but they're not having any of it. They're trying to get that insurance yet again.
Yeah, I mean, can you blame them? We've seen Curse come back multiple times in this series. Maybe not each time for wins, but as time counts down, that comeback becomes less and less likely. They're going to want to see a goal. The sooner, the better. Won't be able to do that from this half of the field, and not when 13's hitting bangers like that. That's the insurance they were looking for. 4-1 for the Marauders. And Crop, I'm thinking we're seeing Game 7 Champions Field coming up.
Yeah. Absolutely, it's looking like it so far, and my word, they are pressing. I was over here saying, hey, maybe that's not the best strat to go for, but hey, if you're able to keep converting, you might as well keep pressing. And so down to the final 35. We'll see if Mozza Marauders is going to have any sort of slip up, or if they're just going to continue to have this win, this run on form, and another one's going to end up going through. 15! And ladies and gentlemen, pack your bags. We might be going on a little bit of a trip. Hope everybody's got their passports.
Yeah, it is, it's getting ugly here in game number 6, crowd. Mozza Marauders, they did not come to play. We're seeing Champions Field. We're seeing Game 7. It's all gonna come down to one game. These final seconds here, bit of a formality, you know. I don't think we're seeing 4 goals in 15 seconds. We'll call it unlikely. But what a way to regain momentum in this series. And it looks like we'll see a 6th goal. 14 putting one home for good measure. 2 goals for each of the Italian boys. 6-1. Yeah, talk about a statement.
Do we see it? There's 7 seconds left. Do we get the meme, or do we go into Game 7 with a heartbreaker?
We've seen some kickoff goals before, but that's not going to get us what we want to see, Crop. Oh, no.
Keep it up.
Hold on.
No,
14
my heart.
can't
No,
keep it up.
15.
15 does.
Opportunity.
Into the
Backboard.
corner.
Get it down mid.
Pass
13.
to 13.
No. You wanted to see it. I mean, hey, what a way to go into Game 7 regardless. Mozza Marauders saying, no, this is not over by any stretch of the imagination, and coming out. And a very important stat line, yet again, it is going to be 9 shots to the 3. I feel like every single time, that is the stat line that is the most important. That shows how much pressure is there, and it's looking like we might be seeing, is this a Drips card change or sub? What are we seeing here?
Ooh. I would have to imagine a card change. No way we're seeing a sub in Game 7. That'd be crazy. I mean, 180 IQ plays, but I'm thinking it's going to be a card change. Now, Crop, I'm making you put money where your mouth is. Oh my God, we're seeing a sub. Lox is in, ladies and gentlemen. Lox is coming in. Do we see the crazy story of the year? Lox just chilling for the first 6 games. Wants to see how it goes.
But for who, though? It's for
Drips. I believe it's for Drips. Yeah.
Who I would have absolutely been putting down as the MVP if they win this.
Yeah.
I mean, Drips has been putting in work. They had a couple miscues there in that last game, and nothing you really got to worry about. I mean, you're getting into that Game 7, so maybe they're just saying, hey, I'm not really feeling it. I'm starting to get those nerves going, especially going into game 7. I mean, that's when
Yeah.
things start to get even more and more nervy. So we will find out here
Wow.
because, ladies and gentlemen, 5 minutes on the clock. This one decides everything. This is Rivals Grand Finals. This is everything.
Prop, real quick before this game gets a goal. Who's your money on right now? Game 7, who's taking it?
Mozza all day long. Oh, I just cast her curse him though. I'm so sorry.
Oh no, guys. I'm not gonna lie, I was freaking Mozza too.
Oh, no.
We know what happens when both casters pick a team, so we'll see what happens.
Or do we see the super sub? Do we see Locks come out and say, nah, this is my game? Opportunity, Helix! Oh my! You would have loved to see the second man there for Mozza Marauders to get one through, but it is going to be 15. Nice pop up, going for the low 50 challenge. Helix reads it wonderfully and actually falls back onto that 0 boost, gets past 2. So it's going to be 13 at the midfield line, grabbing the ball, trying to send it back into that offensive zone. Low play there from 15, recognizing the defender's going to jump, and it's going to be down towards mid. 13's got to get a read and a half, and is able to do so, and it's going to be a big 50 win, but just off the top of the bar. Not able to get under the crossbar there, and it's going to go the other direction. It's going to be Matrix trying to go for the big read as well. Everyone's swinging for the fences. 14 has an open look at the net. Locks is there. My word, it's a back and forth affair, T-Sant.
Oh, back and forth indeed. I mean, if the nerves weren't there before, oh, Matrix is going to take it the length of the field. Hello, first goal of game 7. It goes to Curse. It goes to Matrix.
Oh, and 13 with a bit of a side flip. Wasn't able to get a good connection on the ball. You needed that 50 because, yet again, Mozza Marauders playing that old G2 style, rushing 2 ahead. Third man's a little bit too close. You got to expect somebody's going to get a contact, and this is going to be another one.
There it is.
Locked. The super sub immediately off a kickoff. It's been won more often than not by Curse, and 15 wasn't able to get the Hoy around it.
Wow, and we talk about how crazy it is to bring a sub in game 7. The pressure they gotta feel, even an open net, is kind of hard when the stakes are this high. Locks delivers, gives a huge second goal. Could Matrix make it a third off the crossbar? Chaos on the goal line. And the Mozza Marauders escape with their lives intact. 15 now taking it the other way into the air. Goes for a crazy double off the backboard. No. Defense will clear it out.
Team bump. The miscommunication.
What a game so far we're seeing. Just, oh my goodness.
We're seeing a lot of mechanical issues. You can see the nerves are starting to come through. We've seen a couple team bumps from Mozza Marauders. They're not always there. They're not getting those perfect mechanics, and that's part of the issue when you rely so heavily on those mechanics. Is when you get into these high pressure situations, you can start to fumble. Some of those side flips coming through, they start to mean more and more, especially down by 2, almost 3 there. Helix doing it all by themselves, and it is going to be 13 running ahead, getting a big 50 win. 14's got to go for a huge read, and nobody's there to support, even if they do get it mid, because it was 15 demoed in the backside of the field. Big 50 win there, and 13's going to try and send it down. T-Sant, it's an opportunity they've got to convert, and it's off the mark. Go in. There's no there. It is 15. My heart.
Oh, man. The crossbar and out. I thought Curse was going to survive. Helix just can't quite get the flip in the right direction. Marauders keeping their championship hopes alive. Down 1, 2 minutes to goal. Nerves at an all-time high for both teams, I'm sure. We'll see what Matrix does here in the air. That's a big 50, a big win. Can they get the second touch? No, a bump on 15, but it doesn't do much. 13 now, big demo unlocks. We'll see what Helix does here in defense.
Oh, too high.
14 off the backboard, 13 can't get the shot. Oh, they gotta get past 15. They do. Z-Locks gets one touch, leaves it for Matrix. Matrix tries to dribble it in, but 14 was all over it. 14's gonna have space now. We'll see what happens here. Pass into the midfield. 15 for the shot, but Z-Locks gets the save. Sends it down the field. Does Z-Locks have another? No, 13's gonna clear. Crop a minute and a half. 1 goal between the 2 teams. Could we see overtime? Could we see a 2-1 win? 15 going for the shot over to 13. No. We keep going here in the blue half. Oh my goodness. Mozza Marauders Crop, they're doing everything they can, but the Curse defense isn't breaking. Is that it? No! Another save from Matrix. We stay 2-1.
One of these has to go in. There it is. 14, as I was saying it. 14 says, all right, I got you, Crop. We're going to make it happen here, and my word, tying us back up in a big way. We've seen it now more than once, especially on the offense there, but you can't say it's really all that negative. But Mozza Marauders sending 2 for a lot of those balls. Yes, they were chasing that 1 goal, but my word, they were finally able to convert, and it's going to be Helix sending it down. It's an open net, and 13 can just walk this in. The transition by 1 is Mozza Marauders.
Oh my god, and the game just completely turning around. 13 taking the errant pass, putting it the length of the field. Now we see a 1-goal lead for the Marauders. Curse finding themselves where they were for a lot of this series, on the back foot. They got 1 minute to regain. Will they be able to? Or will the Marauder offense have just been too much? We'll see what happens. Matrix putting it over to Helix, who's going to get an out-pass. Team bump could be dangerous to Demo, but 13 gets a high pop. Is going to beat Z-Lox. The ball that could be in the back of the net. 13 taking over. Game number 7. Could this be it now? Look, 2 goals with 30 seconds remaining. Curse is going to need a miracle to come back in this one.
They finally started to push forward. This time around, it was Lox getting a little bit too aggressive as third man, trying to chase that offensive pressure. And you can see that it's a little bit different this time around for Curse. They're not playing that third man lockdown defense of what Drip especially was playing there. So Lox pressing forward, but they got to start to chase. This is the final 15 opportunity going through, but that's going to be sent the entire direction of the field. That's a good 10 seconds off the clock here. Matrix trying to send it back in. You need one now, but the demo is going to open up so much space for Mozza. It's going to be a pop-up opportunity off the backboard. Can they get the read? Not able to do so in 1 to go, but it doesn't even matter. 0 seconds. Mozza Marauders win it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh man, and what a heartbreaker for Curse. Up too early. Up 1 with not a lot of time to go, and just 13 taken over in game number 7.
And what do we see? What do we see? It's the shots, yet again.
The shots, Crop.
Oh my word.